guys, and welcome from me, Champion Strategy 0102, yet another goddamn video. I'm getting on your fucking tits now, ain't I? A real quick update on the three-man game. We had a couple of sessions last weekend. We'll probably get another couple of sessions in this weekend. We had a little bit of game time in Tuesday night as well, actually. So we've managed to really fire through. What season did we say we're in? Season 131, something like that. Of course, you already know that I left Chelsea and I took over Man City in the third tier, blah, 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 blah. And I think certain things this season, we haven't got to the conclusion of it yet, but we're certainly hitting the home straight. They're inevitable. They really are inevitable of the outcome. There's a couple of real big shockers to tell you, which I will go through in a minute as soon as the game is loaded up. I've restored this as a solo game, so the first thing I will do when it fires up is change it to myself, because for whatever reason it always loads as Pep. Okay, so that's the situation in the league for me, Division 2. We look convincing, don't we? We look very, very convincing to go up to the second tier of football, at which point maybe we'll pick up some stronger players, which, well, I think we will, because I think there's only so much quality you can get in the third tier. That being said, this guy here, Eric Martinson, is a straight central midfielder, fucking brilliant, 12 in 12. Then I've got my strikers, my three strikers. I bought this New Caledonian player, fuck knows who he is, 5 in 5. We've got Andy Byrne, 14 in 30. We've got the Polish guy, 29 in 23. And believe it or not, I only have one player up top. So we are looking really, really good. I have made a few alterations to my tactic since I last played this. For example, I've gone against using centre halves with an arrow and less their DMC as well. We are stronger than ever. We brought Makado, who's a former player that we used to have at Chelsea and Southampton. And on that note, let's get to Southampton from there. This is the Premier League. It's Ian's from the off, really. From the off. After game one, he drew his very first game and Pep won. At that point, I thought maybe Pep could do it this season, or we could make a challenge. But Pep's been absolutely horrendous. As you can see, on equal games, he's still 2 points behind Chelsea, but they are way off the pace of Man United. It looks inevitable. United are going to take that title with several games to spare. I mean, even if Chelsea and Southampton win their game in hand, there's still a 20-point gap. There's only 30 points left. I mean, Ian's done really well. Take nothing away from Ian's success this season, but that along with just how shit Pep has done this season, it is just absolutely woeful. I expected Chelsea to slip up in certain games. You know, as AI, they go to 4-4-2. Despite, I thought Pep would do well given the fact that he'd brought some quality players. So, let's now have a look at the League Cup and the Champions League and the FA Cup. Let's start with the Champions League. This is where we're at then. We're almost at the conclusion of the second phase. Pep has already confirmed his qualification as group winners. Sunderland, who of course finished 4th last season, they've already made it with 1 game to spare. Chelsea have already made it with 5 straight wins out of 5. And Southampton, Man United and Southampton have both done it. Let me just check something very, very quickly. So Sunderland haven't quite won their group yet, I don't think. It don't look like. Let's just check. It don't look like they have, no. Let's just check. Yeah, actually, Sunderland will do it. Yeah, so they won the first leg 3-2 at home. No, sorry, and they lost the second leg against the Serbians 1-0. So if Sunderland lose that last game and the Serbs win, then the Serbs will win the group. Now that of course means that Ian or Pep or Chelsea could land Sunderland in the quarterfinals. If they do win the group, it means that all the 4 English teams will avoid each other in the quarters, which means it could be an all-English semi-final with Sunderland and Chelsea. Let's have a look at the League Cup then. The League Cup, it's Arsenal's. It's Man United's to lose. They take on the mighty Chelsea. There was a very early exit for me, as you may recall. Where did Pep get knocked out? Pep got thrashed in the 4th round by Manchester United. Let's go to Man United, who was sensationally beaten in the FA Cup 4th round by second tier West Brom. It was a big, big shock in the FA Cup, definitely. So the 4th round went like this. Southampton advanced easily, and I advanced. The 5th round, Southampton, Man City, and then was the quarterfinals, and it was a monster tie. It was Southampton versus Manchester City. Are you ready for this? That's what it finished, and I think Pep was absolutely disgusted. I mean, it weren't as if it was just a fluky win, because it would actually absolutely dominated Pep. And he had no complaints. He had no complaints at all from just what happened there. We were in control even with 4 minutes to go, but we demolished Pep. So we get to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Now, I didn't want Sunderland, to be honest with you, because what we've just been speaking about Sunderland, but we've got Sunderland in the semis with Kidderminster or Reading taking on either West Brom or Brentford in the other semi-final. Now, let me just see something. I actually missed that Sunderland had knocked Chelsea out, so I guess it's better to have Sunderland than Chelsea. Who knows? Could we get to the final? Can we win the FA Cup as a 3rd tier and maybe go into the UEFA Cup next season? Who knows? Who knows? So, that is where we're at. So, like I said, we've brought, we've brought stacks and stacks of players. In terms of Pep, I don't know if I covered this on the previous one. I think I had. He's brought a couple more Chelsea players. He's brought Bianco. I didn't even see. He's not a bad goalkeeper, I guess. Ian, I'm sure Ian brought another Chelsea player. I thought he did. Costa Rican. Don't think I pointed that out. A couple of other players here and there as we fast approach the transfer deadline. That's a quality. That's a quality. Do you know what? That's a quality defender. Now I'm wondering if that is a Vertonghen regen, because you may recall Pep had the Vertonghen regen and he was a fucking assist machine, providing he was playing at left back. That would be quite interesting. And Fred van Gastel, another Dutch. Right, so that is it. So it was a real quick update. In terms of the World Cup, let's just have a look at... So Ian, still Brazil. Looks convincing, don't he? He ain't going to fail, no doubt about that. And Pep calls Italy. And he's off and running. So that's where we're at, guys, on season 131. Right, till next time from me, guys, take it easy.